Hello, you wonderful people. So for this video, I'm gonna talk about this week's episodes of Bitten as well as The Magicians. So in Bitten, we begin off with Roman, where was he at? Somewhere in Russia, meeting up with this lady who he believes to be a witch, but she's like, no, I'm not a witch, until he like starts strangling her on the bed, and she grabs a ring and finally like activates her magic. But basically she's talking to him and having a vision about Elena and her dad. I think what's his name, Sasha, starts talking about him, and then Roman's kind of interested. He's like, what else do you see? Which she doesn't go on to say what else she sees, so I'm very curious, what else did she see? We have Elena, Jeremy and the rest of the pack still looking for Eduardo. They're still super pissed, trying to bring down judgment on him, because Joey died last episode because he took the bullet for Jeremy, so they're like super pissed. I mean, granted, Jeremy's been going down super hard so far this season, particularly with like last episode, basically saying people, they join them under him as the alpha, or basically they get wiped out. Essentially, you join or you die, which is kind of like, I'm kind of not liking this Jeremy. It seems like I don't know, like he could easily get too corrupted by all this newfound power, and them doing what they're doing is just making even more enemies for themselves. But granted, I get why he's doing it, because by doing this he shows a strong front, and if he's able to show a strong front, wolves are less likely to attack them. I mean, come on, they've been attacked like the past 2 seasons, so it's understandable for them to be like, you know what, if we show that we have this much power, people won't attack us as often. Granted, we're still getting attacked, which is kind of bumming Elena and Clay out, because they don't want this life to continue the way it's going. We have Elena on a few occasions, like 2 or 3 occasions throughout the episode, talking to her dad, which she's hesitant to believe him, which is, it's fair to be hesitant, because I mean, for some stranger to come out of nowhere and be like, yeah, I'm your dad, it's like, no. I mean, what proof do you have? I mean, he had a picture and some memories, but it's like, I don't know, for Elena, her past is kind of a little hazy, like, like about her parents and stuff. She has one vivid memory of her parents, and that's all she has. And this whole Sasha things has kind of got her like a little scattered, because she doesn't know, like, she doesn't really know, like, if it is true that he is her dad. It's just kind of, I don't know, and it's all happening at the wrong time. It's turning her life upside down. It's keeping her mind a little scattered, because I also have to deal with Eduardo and his wolves and all these different people attacking them. Now she has to have this come into her life as well at the same time. What I did like is the fact that she didn't keep this 100% to herself. She did confide in Clay. Granted, she didn't tell Jeremy, which I don't know. I'm kind of fine for not telling Jeremy, because I don't know how Jeremy would react in this situation. Maybe he'd be like, oh, maybe we should check into this a little bit more, be a little bit of a doting father or something, but I don't know. She chose not to tell Jeremy. I mean, I'm kind of like okay with the fact that she didn't tell him. Granted, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, we don't know. But I do like the fact that she like confided in Clay. I mean, it's good that she at least confided in one thing, because let's not forget, she still hasn't told anyone about that whole vision from last season, at the end of season 2, about her being in the manor burning and her covered in blood. She's still yet to tell anyone about that. So this episode we also have Eduardo finally getting captured, as well as Bucky dying, because Jeremy and Nick had found out. The fact is that they found that little storage container that had all his plates, and they're like, this is Bucky's. And it's like, then they realized that SOB's been working with Eduardo. He hasn't submitted. He's actually playing both sides. So they just, he finally got, Clay took him out, and Elena took down Eduardo. He got locked up. And, Jeremy's there threatening him, and then, but Eduardo kind of retorts on the fact is that, like, none of his children, the particular people that are part of his pack, Nick, Elena, or Clay, none of them are his bloodline. None of them are his children directly. So when he actually does die, he won't have a legacy. He's like, even if I die right here, I'm gonna die and being happy, knowing the fact is that your bloodline ends with you, because you'll be a forgotten memory eventually. And then Jeremy's like, well, I might be forgotten, but you won't be forgotten. Don't sell yourself short. You won't be forgotten, because I will remember your death spectacularly. It will keep me, it will make me, I will look back on it with fondness for years to come, which is very twisted in my opinion. And then you have Roman going super crazy, like slicing into him covered in blood. I was like, I think you got him with like the first few whacks, but no, you're still going. Okay, you're still going. Okay. And at the same time, you have Elena, who's backed by Clay, meeting up with her dad. She finds out a little bit more about her family. Basically, it's revealed that Roman wants Sasha dead. Don't know why he wants him dead. Just for the past 30 years, he's wanted him dead. That's actually how Elena's mom died, if I'm remembering that correctly. He was saying that basically Roman's the reason why she's dead, because she was kind of a casualty of him just coming after Sasha. She just kind of got in the way type of thing. On to this episode of The Magicians, where we have Quentin kind of talking to, I'm terrible with freaking names. It's home dude who apparently has the power of a traveler. Basically, Quentin at the end of the last episode was like, dude, you went to Fillory, that little, like, that place from all those magic books that Quentin has been reading. Granted, they're children's book, but you know, Traveler guy is kind of like, no. If that's Fillory, that's messed up, because the beast is there. So you're saying Fillory, this child book place, is real, and that the beast is resonance there. And Quentin's like, well, I don't know. Maybe they changed it for the book. You know, keep it a little kid friendly. Exclude the fact is that there's a eye gouging, arm breaking, supernatural, whatever the hell that thing is. You know, just maybe they removed that to keep the books more kid friendly, which all that in itself kind of messes with Quentin's head a little bit, because he holds on to Fillory as that whole story of Fillory got him through some tough times throughout his life. So for it to be a kind of defiled, actually not a good place, is actually a bad place, because it might actually be where the beast is originally from. I mean, he's even got someone locked up there. Granted, we don't know for sure 100% that place was Fillory, but because of that, that symbol that he found, it's like Quentin's like, okay, that's definitely Fillory, because that's a symbol from the books about Fillory. We also have Julia in this episode meeting another hedge witch who had kind of gotten kicked out by what's her name, Marina? Marina. Yeah, Marina. Like I said, I'm terrible with names. She meets another hedge witch who is terrible, who had gotten kicked out by Marina. She was kind of branded the same way Julia was, and basically it's those two kind of colluding together as a means of, maybe I missed this in the episode. What was it exactly they were trying to get from her? I guess they were trying to get Marina's whatever knowledge Marina had stolen from Break Bills like a couple episodes ago, like when she got her memories back. Maybe like some of the spells, maybe she had written down some of the spells she had learned or something, and they were all in that filing cabinet that they were trying to like basically teleport to them later on in the episode. I don't know. Maybe that's what they were going. I don't. Maybe I skipped over. Maybe it kind of like passed over me, like what exactly they were. I know they were trying to take her down per se, but maybe they were trying to get her spells first, and then like they'll be able to take her down. Because I mean, it's kind of sad, because you're seeing Julia kind of be all addicted to it. She's treating it like a drug, which I guess a like theme in this show is that magic is like a drug, and she is seriously addicted about it, because she's always just like, I need to learn new stuff. I have to learn. I can't handle all this baby crap magic around me. I need to learn some real spells. Which this lady actually gave her some. I think her name's Hannah. Hannah actually gave her some, but it just still wasn't enough. So that's why they kind of did the whole thing about going after Marina. And we also find out that Hannah, and I'm not even sure if that is her name, but we're going to go with it, is actually Katie's mom. And that the reason why Katie's working for Marina in the first place, Marina, I keep calling Marina, working for her in the first place is because Hannah messed up at some point in the past, messed up super bad, and Katie was kind of collateral for her F up, which is kind of like, wow, that effing sucks. Like, Julia was like, you sold your freaking daughter to Marina? She's like, no, I didn't sell her to her. She took my daughter. And basically, in her mind, like, this whole thing is a way of getting her daughter back. So, teams up with Julia. They actually get the filing cabinet, but they look through it. All the pages are blank, except for, like, one that says, nice try. And then all of a sudden, bam! Katie's mom is there, bleeding from her nose, her eyes, and just start heavily bleeding. Marina just is brutally murdering her. And Julia's like, what should I do? And it's like, no, just get out of here, just run. Which is like, man, that is one crazy chick. Killing someone that brutally, she is not to be messed with. Another part of the episode was basically, I think it's the first years, basically get put in this little trial where they have to kind of solve things. Quentin and Traveler Dude, I'm going to keep referring to him now. Trust me, after this video, I'll look up his name. I was going to look it up earlier, but it's just like I want to go ahead and record the video. So I was like, so for now, he's going to be referred to as Traveler Dude. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But Quentin and Traveler Dude basically cheat their way through the first test. I mean, because they find out, they're like, no, we have to, like, you know, we have to cheat to pass this trial. That's the whole purpose of it. But that dude that was part of their team decided, he's like, no, I'm not going to cheat. We can't cheat. Cheating was supposed to be what you're supposed to do, and he didn't, so he ended up getting kicked out, and they moved on to the next trial. And you have basically, which involve them all doing separate tasks, like capturing a horse, getting a specific fish, and what was it, chopping down a tree, stuff like that. Basically what ended up happening is the four, Katie, Alice, and Quentin, and Traveler Dude, all kind of had to switch jobs because everyone's better at something. Like Quentin said he was, well, it was some kind of camp he went to about, was it cowboy camp or something like that? Something like that. It was something stupid like that, he said. And then he actually captured a horse, and Alice was like, did you get bitten? He's like, yeah, I always hated cowboy camp or something like that. But they pass the second trial and move on to the third trial. It's basically kind of like they have to strip down, tie this rope around their hands, and put these markings on themselves. And it's kind of like a truth or lie. Like, you won't be able to break free of the rope until you tell the truth or whatever. And so Katie actually finally confesses about, like, you know, she's like, I'm just using you. I'm not a good person. I'm a bad person, because Traveler Dude admitted, he's like, yo, I'm falling in love with you, and the rope came off. And that just made her, like, break on the inside, because she's like, I've been using and manipulating you. You're actually a good guy, and I don't want to, like, keep using you. So it's like, that. Here's the truth. I'm using you, so don't fall in love with me, type of thing. Which, you know, she kind of had a breakdown a little bit earlier in the episode, talking about she has to stay. The whole trial purpose is to make it so that if you fail it, apparently you get kicked out of break bills. But she kind of had a bit of a breakdown earlier, which I'm alluding it to, and maybe they covered this in the episode, but I'm alluding it to, if she gets kicked out of break bills, she's done, because if she gets kicked out, Marina will kill her, because she'll have, like, no further use for her. The only reason why she's keeping her around is because she's in Breaksville and she's of use to her. So I'm guessing that's what she meant. Like, it's do or die for me, essentially. I will admit I'm not 100% clear on what the hell happened at the end of the episode where they turn into, what are those, ducks or geese? Because we see Quentin turn into one. I'm guessing everyone else who passed that part of the trial did too. I guess we'll just have to watch the next episode to kind of understand that a little more. I don't know. To me, there was no context to that. To me, there's a lot of points in the show that have no context, but I don't know. Still liked it anyway. But that's really all I wanted to say about Bitten as well as the Magicians. Until the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy a good day, and goodbye.